Today on What Went Wrong, we're going to talk about the best way to keep actors from talking about you. Hi, I'm Brett Mauser, and I made over 40 feature films. And for the most part, I've always tried to keep my actors happy with food.
Oh, well, it doesn't hurt.
A lot of actors have told me in the past one of the reasons they work with me is because of the barbecue.
As you can
because
see,
of the
I like food myself, so
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
I have in the past, especially when talking about actors, I have bitched and moaned a little bit about feeding the actors.
Yeah.
That's
Greedy bastards.
yeah. And there are situations where I will talk about that, and I feel that I'm in the right especially when I'm talking about the way that I do things now about paying the actors up front. It is a job now.
Yeah.
And I don't see a difference between working on a movie that I'm paying you an hourly rate or a daily rate, what have you, and your day job. And and I guess like in your situation, there will be times where there's food, on the plane and things like that. But if you're just working at your regular office, they don't bring in food every day and feed you.
Yeah.
You have your lunch break, you go out, or you bring your little Tupperware container in, whatnot. So I do believe that there is a line there. Does that mean you shouldn't feed your actors? No, you should feed your actors, especially if they're deferred or they're doing it voluntarily. And even on my last several different films, I always have a snack case, which has, I go down and I get like the 24 or 36 pack of chips for $6 or something. I have the little small waters and the small sodas, and that's a very important thing. Always have water.
Oh,
Period.
well,
End of
always.
story. That's not
That's
involved
a
in
safety
food.
concern.
Have the water, but don't buy the big frickin' things of water. Not even the little 17 ounce or the 16.9 ounce. Get the small little things. Because whether they're big or small, at the end of the day, you're going to have half-drunk bottles all over your damn set. So, would you rather have 16-ounce bottles that have been half-drunk, or a bunch of empty, small little containers, and some of them are a little half-drunk?
Right.
It's a waste of water because people go, they don't have their names on it, they put it down, they come back, there's 3 bottles, they don't know which one's their own, they're just going to go back and they're going to get a new bottle. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. So just buy the small things, and
Right.
they've got the small sodas too now too.
Right.
The little snack soda.
Snack soda.
Snack soda things.
Yeah.
But I also have crackers. The main reason I have a Sam's Club card is to go in and buy bulk food items like that, like crackers and breakfast bars and all these things, and that'll be in a big Tupperware box that I have that I bring to every set.
Right.
So that there's the snacks. I will also, again, depending on my schedule, will have a crock pot. The day before, I'll make my chili ready with my, get it all set up, ready to plug in. I don't cook it, but I put it in there, and then at the beginning of the shoot, I plug it in, set it for 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever,
Yeah.
or the high temperature for 4 hours, so that if we start at 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning, then 10 or 11, we're ready to have lunch. It's cooked. It's ready to go. So you basically cook beforehand, so that you're not scrambling around on set.
Right.
Other times I've been able to just go out and for $10, slam down $10 at a chicken place for 20 legs and thighs. Bring
Right.
them back. Lemo, here you go. Or a bunch of dollar burgers or whatever.
Right.
And then we've at times brought our grill to set. And
Yeah.
somebody's grilling
Those are my
hot
favorite
dogs
days.
and steaks and everything.
Fajitas. Oh, yeah.
And that will keep your actors very, very happy. And it's not like just throwing. I'm not talking about just throwing a bone to your people.
Right.
It's actually something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy letting them have, and of course I love them when they go, oh, this is great. What can I have this recipe? Oh, is it
Right.
But it's going to keep them energized. It's going to keep them, their belly happy, and they're going to be less miserable. Do understand that when you do have a lunch break, it's going to be a little bit of slow time getting people back into the flow of things.
Right.
So try and wrap up your scenes before you call lunch, or that scene that you're doing, and then before you move on to another one.
Right.
You as I know you don't like being called an actor, but you as a performer, actor, what have you, what is the difference between you when you come to, how do you see food on the set and the responsibility and
It depends. Like I said, if we're coming to your house, like your house, to do stuff, and we're in the middle of a city somewhere, I suppose having a box of chips is kind of cool, but not really that big of a deal. But if we're out in the middle of bumble nowhere, yeah, we need to kind of have a thing. And having been on both, usually whenever I was going somewhere, I was with a bunch of other people, and we also kind of knew, well, we're going to be going out here. Maybe there's not going to be a whole lot of food. We should get something beforehand. Or you kind of know, well, Brett said he's going to have some chili and some chips. Oh, well, we'll eat there. But it's very important because, the Napoleon said an army runs on its stomach. And he's not kidding. Life is miserable when you're doing that kind of stuff. But good food will help everything. Whenever I've had something go completely sideways, just completely up in whatever way, whether it's in my personal life or my professional life or whatever, something's just gone sideways. Good advice that I got years ago was stop, take a deep breath, go get a good meal, sit down, have some good food, and then let's figure out what comes next. And they're absolutely right. A really good meal can really help everything. It sounds weird, but I've determined that a good meal, a good sit down, relax meal can make things better. Now you can't have that when you're working necessarily, but the concept is still something good to eat makes everything better. Makes even a difficult shoot or a difficult location go a little smoother.
And and if you want to save money and keep your and of course keep your cast and crew happy, cook it yourself.
Yeah.
Don't go out and blow all this money on catering, a bunch of Subway sandwiches,
No.
what have you. I'm going to give you a couple quick recipes that I use, in a pinch. Crock pots.
Mm-hmm.
Go get yourself a crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay $30, $20 for a crock pot, you're going to save so much money on food. Because what
It'll
I'll do,
feed you for days.
Here's what I'll do is in the pinch when it's just like, okay, I don't have a lot of money, just got to do something quick. The night before the shoot, I will get 2 to 3 pounds of ground beef, and sometimes ground turkey or what have you, but basically you just get you can get 2 pounds of ground beef for like $2 or $2.50 or something, and then those chili packs. Those McCormick's chili packs are the generic ones that HEB and Walmart, they all have them. They're little chili. You can get them for like $3 for $1. And then a bunch of cans of stewed tomatoes.
Yeah.
And they have them in different flavors now. They have the Mexican, shalote, Italian stew. And it's the stewed tomatoes, and you get 2 cans of those, your ground beef and the chili pack seasoning. Throw them in the crock pot. Stir it up, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And just buy some of those styrofoam, some styrofoam bowls and some spoons, for $1 each, like a set, not per spoon.
10 minutes and $10.
Still, and like if it's in a crock pot, you'll just turn that on, when you get the set, 3 or 4 hours later, you got a great meal.
That sounds pretty
and if
good.
you want to get, some rice, they have like little microwavable bowls of rice now. Or just cheese or corn chips. The
Frito pie is a Texas institution, man.
That's one great, and really easy to do. People love it.
Yeah.
And if you want to start experimenting, throw other spices in, that's fine. But if you're just in a pinch, do that. It'll feed, 7 or 8 people.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And then the other one, they have these. If you go to the slow cooker aisle in the grocery store, they have a lot of mixes. They have like these Campbell's slow cooker in a bag type thing. You get it for $2 or $3, and you go and you get some pork shoulder for $4 or $5. That's all you need. You throw the pork shoulder in there, and then you open up the pack, and it's a liquid, and you pour it all in there, and you're done.
There you go.
You turn it on. 4 hours later, you got a meal. And then you just pick up some buns, and people put that stuff on there, and you're good to go.
Yeah. It's easy ways to keep your actors, well, your team, not just your actors, but to keep your team full and functioning and productive.
Yeah. And that's what you want to do. You want to keep your crew happy, because when they're miserable, they make you miserable, and you have a miserable time.
And it comes out on the shoot.
Yeah.